juvenile was taken into custody after allegedly physically assaulting a resident at St. Catherine's Nursing Home in Wahpeton. Police Chief Matthew Anderson tells us it was an isolated incident and that juvenile was taken to a detention facility. Chief Anderson would not share further information surrounding the nature of the assault, the condition of the victim, or the relationship of the victim to the juvenile, if there was any. We will continue to update you with new information as we receive it. A man was taken into custody in South Fargo yesterday afternoon around 1 p.m. There's a large police presence in the 2200 block of 59th Avenue South near Bennett Elementary. Police say 26-year-old Robbie Welcher was arrested. He had outstanding arrest warrants for drug-related offenses, fleeing, and a parole violation. He was taken to the Cass County Jail.